All righty, welcome everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. How's everyone doing this morning? We are excited
Good
to have
morning.
you on live. Good morning, Amell. How are you doing?
Good. I was like, oh, we're live already? Okay.
Yes, we are live. So if you are just jumping on and watching us, say hello. We want to make sure we say hi to you. Also, we have some great guests that I'm very excited to present you this morning. I think we're going to have some great conversation. So go ahead, Amell, and share with the viewers. Let's talk about that coffee.
Oh my goodness. So today, well, hi everyone. Good morning. I hope you're having a great morning so far. So we are starting with Amazing Coffee by Jackie Camacho Ruiz. It's actually really good. And it has cinnamon and brown sugar. It's like café de olla. Have people heard of that? That's like making your coffee in an actual pot. You put in your cinnamon and it's really good. It's really good. Today, I'm not a fan of black coffee, but I'm drinking it just like that because it has cinnamon and brown sugar in it. So, but it's good. How about you? Did you like it, Jen?
Oh, I love the coffee. So just friendly reminder, our sponsor, Jackie Camacho Ruiz, she is the one that's sharing the amazing coffee. So this is some good stuff. It is like café de olla, absolutely, which is good. So I want to hear from everybody that is on live. Where are you guys drinking coffee from?
It could be from your kitchen. Mine is from my kitchen because the Dominican Republic is a little too far. So I have my own coffee from there. So that's what I make. But today I'm drinking Amazing Coffee. I love it. I love the name. It's so it's going to be an amazing day and you're drinking your amazing coffee. So Jackie, you're the bomb.com for that one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, friendly reminder, we are on live in the Women's Institute of Self-Development page. So definitely make sure to watch us there for those that are jumping on. And we are also on on YouTube. So for those that are watching YouTube, make sure that you catch us on YouTube. So this is awesome. I love my coffee. We love our amazing coffee. So this is some good stuff. So anything else before we go to our next topic, Amell, that you wanted to share?
No, just the coffee. Drop it in the comments below. What are you drinking? Where is it from? How's your morning going? Let's get the chat going.
Absolutely. So I think this is where we're going to go. We're going to bring our guests on shortly, but we wanted to hit a couple of topics. I love my coffee. Oops, excuse me. Oops, excuse me. Technology there.
I did want to say something else. I'm sorry, Jen. Let's also talk about, are people getting their petties done yet? Are people going? I was like, this week, I've been wanting to go because your girl needs it. And my mom's like, it's too soon. I was like, I know you're right, but I kind of want to go. So how are people doing? Are you going to get your petties yet? I've seen some people on the social, putting their pictures and stuff, and it's insane. You have a whole conjunction going on with the mask and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I think what I saw was even some of the nail shops are actually putting shields in between each chair. So I said, that is actually really nice. Because I'll be honest, like I said in the last show, I'm not the one that's going to be running in the street and trying to go to everything. That's just not me. But I'm sure we'll hear from Tiffany and Dr. Maribel Lopez. They're going to share with us what their thoughts are on that, right? But for me personally, personally, I'm thinking, okay, I think it's time to go get that petty. So for me,
I
I
know.
vote petty time. Petty time.
I know. I vote petty time too, but like next week. So people calm down a little bit.
For sure. So if you guys are watching, let us know whether you are going to get that petty or that Manny. Sometime maybe you already got it. Great. Or you're gonna get it, right? So on to our next topic. While we're waiting for those comments and those votes to come in on the Manny and Petties, I want to hear from you all, especially in regards to this new situation that's going on, the divorce updates that we got, and I know that it's actually something that it's a little bit interesting what's going on, right? I believe it's Rachel Hollis who is the author of the Girl Wash Your Face, Girl Stop Apologizing. She's one of those relationship coaches, and she just had this conference, and a lot of our women in our community follow this coach and have read her books. Even us in book club, we've read her books in book club, right? So I wanted to get people's thoughts on what were their thoughts on the divorce itself. And I would love to even hear when we bring on our guests for them to share their thoughts also. But Amell, what were your thoughts? Can you share actually what was being said in her Tiffany said petty time.
In her post. What happened?
Tiffany said petty time. She's in the green room.
Yes.
But yeah, let me know, what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Let me go ahead and read the post just to catch up everybody, just so people can know like the commotion and whatnot. So she says, this is from her Instagram. She says, guys, I have some hard news to share, and honest truth is, I have no idea how someone announces something like this. So I'm going to say it. Dave and I have made the incredibly difficult decision to end our marriage. We started out as best friends 18 years ago, and the truth is that core friendship and the parts of us that work so well have become a band-aid for the parts that don't. We have worked endlessly over the last 3 years to make this work and have come to a conclusion that is healthier and more respectful for us to choose this as the end of our journey as a married couple. We remain dear friends and raise our family as parents and run our company as partners. We're choosing joy, even though, I'll be honest, the last month has been one of the most awful of our lives. I want to be strong and bold and optimistic for you now, but every ounce of my energy is reserved in being those things for my children. That said, I have been such an open book to this beloved community, and we hope that you can allow us a human moment. We hope you can understand our need to process the changes away from social media. We graciously ask that you respect our privacy so we can focus on the things that matter, our 4 kids, and the next chapter of what our family looks like now.
Wow.
So that is what she said. And I think Dave also shared a few words. I think they kind of shared something very similar, if not the same, because I feel like I read that somewhere else too. Mm-hmm. My stance is, first of all, it's always sad when marriages end, right? Like it's a big ordeal when there's children and their life and everything that we do together. Honestly, I never saw her as a marriage coach, to be honest. So to me, everybody, and I was reading some of the comments, a lot of people were really upbeat, really upset because she has given marriage advice. I didn't even know that. So when I first heard of it, I was like, oh man, that sucks. Because apart from them being on the eye, being so big in social media and everything that they do, it's tough. And I didn't even know that they did that marriage stuff. So to me, I was like, why is everybody getting so upset? Like,
Mhm.
these things happen. But now that I know that, that's why people are getting upset because there were conferences, I just want to pose this question. What if what they were teaching, right, was also therapeutic for them, right? Like, all the help that they've done, is that now like not thought of just because they're getting a divorce? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, we're in this society where we always want to be like, you did something wrong and you did that, right? Like, if they've been working on their marriage, duh, they've been trying to take their own advice, and sometimes it just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
That's just my take on it. Sorry, I think I spoke too I
No, no,
spoke a
no,
lot,
no,
but
you're
that's how I
fine.
feel about it.
You're fine. I think, and we'll bring on the guests in a second in regards to chime in on this topic. But for me personally, yes, it's a terrible thing for people to divorce. That's the last thing we want because, right? There's statistics that show that when a woman is on her own, she actually tends to be more in poverty and she can't make as much money, right? It's more difficult, and there's all these statistics on divorce rates, and of course the trauma that the kids have to endure, right? It's an experience that no family wants to go through, right? And then divorce court, and if you have property, and for them they obviously have businesses together, so it's going to be a lot more complex than just separating, right? I think where the issue was if you were in some of her coaching programs, she did have coaching advice or relationship advice. And yes, we are human. And I think where the issue was, if you've been, where she said something, she said, we've been struggling with this for a while now, right? So it's like, first of all, there's no such thing as a perfect marriage, and all marriages are going to struggle. There's always going to be ups and downs. That's a fact,
Yeah.
right? No doubt. We can't
Hashtag fact.
fact, right? Like hashtag fact for real. But at the end of the day, what did people feel like they were deceived because they're like, holy moly, I'm trying to fix my marriage and I'm listening to you and I've been listening to you for all this time, and you at the end of the day weren't honest with us. So with all that being said, we're going to make sure we bring on our two guests so that they can also introduce themselves and chime in because we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
This is just part of the conversation. So let's bring on our guests. So welcome, ladies that are on. You see, we have Tiffany, GF Mom Certified, and Maribel Lopez from Loyola. Dr. Lopez Foundation. She's a professor at Loyola University. And I'm sure she's going to share, and she has a ministry, so she has Eternally Grateful. So this is a great conversation. Yourselves and feel free to tell us about the mani pedi and the coffee. Tiffany, you want to go first?
Sure. So I'm Tiffany, and I'm a mom of three, happily married for a second time. So I can definitely weigh in on the Rachel Hollis conversation. Functional medicine certified health coach, helping primarily women with autoimmune conditions learn to love their body again. So that's me, and I have my coffee. Thank you, Jackie. It's fabulous.
So, mani or petty, Tiffany? Mani petty?
Definitely petty time. Biggest thing is investing the time to go over there and sit for 45 minutes. Yes. Not scared.
Hey, that's the best.
Yes, investing the time. That's a good way of presenting it to people, especially our viewers, right? Do we have the time to invest? We want to get the petties. And we have also Dr. Maribel Lopez. So please introduce yourself.
Yep.
Yes. And you are, in what field do you teach, if you share? Nice, nice. So we know that that's obviously needed right now, right? It's a very important thing to have right now. So I
Right.
absolutely. And just to mention, we have Mary. She says she has a McCafe coffee with coconut creamer. So I just wanted to share.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I like the
I'm a
coconut.
coconut person. I love it.
I love coconut. I love anything coconut and vanilla. If it's a cream, if it's a coffee, if it's a body cream, I don't care. um, so ladies, thank you for introducing yourselves, and at the end, I know you guys can share where people can reach out to you. I wanted to get your feedback on this whole Rachel Hollis before we go on break. Like, what are your thoughts? I know that you heard Amell right now just share her update, Rachel, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with her as the Girl Wash Your Face author. Tell me what your thoughts are on this.
So I guess, yeah, I read it over the weekend, and I've read her most recent two books, Go Wash Your Face and Stop Apologizing. And my biggest thing was, even as myself, of what came to me was, oh my gosh, it takes so much courage to announce this. Because when I went through my divorce, it was 2006, I was afraid to even tell my own parents that we'd filed for divorce. And I'd been in a 10-year relationship, which was basically just roommates. We were not actually like together for several years, and yet you still had this huge fear. And so as and my brand is not nearly what Rachel's would be. I'd love if it would be, but even as somebody who has a brand around them, I was like, oh my gosh, right? This creates conflict in your brand. This creates fear for you and for the people that trust you. And so I guess I empathized with her most. I didn't realize she was doing marriage counseling. That kind of flipped past me. But as a business coach, I do realize that you've got to step forward in your fears. And she does a lot of business coaching. So I'm kind of behind her, and like, if this isn't working, then go girl, right? Like, just move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maribel, Dr. Maribel Lopez, what are your thoughts? Honestly, this is conversation, right? We're just having like coffee convo, right? This is very informal, like just like have girl talk type conversation.
Mm, right.
Absolutely. No, that's good. Yeah, because I think right, we can't stop the divorce, right? And sometimes it's a necessity. Sometimes it just happens and it's a painful situation, and I just think maybe it's the wording. It was just the wording of what she said that her community, because her community, like we know, Tiffany, Maribel, Mel, we have communities that follow us with the things that we do. And they hold on anything that you say to dear life. And they're like, any 12 at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. while I was on at dinner, this is what happened. This is what you said, right? And they'll even point the finger, but and yeah, we've been following her. I never even saw her as a relationship coach until I saw this headline, right? So I was just like, what? What? I thought she was an empowerment. It was all about empowerment and empowering women. So, but this is some good conversation. Let us know what you think about, if you guys have been caught up with the Rachel Hollis situation. Make sure to write it in the comment section. This is an interactive show, everyone, so that we can, just hear what everyone has to say. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're just going to start having a more serious conversation in regards to the Tulsa rally. I wanted to talk both about the racial issues behind that rally. Now, this has nothing to do with pro anything or con anything. And we're not talking about Democrats or nothing. It's the rally itself and the concerns are behind COVID-19, as well as COVID-19 itself and the issue of, how the rise of the COVID numbers, is this really what's going on? Is the COVID numbers really rising? And I think, Tiffany, I'm excited to hear your perspective because you shared an article about your family experiencing COVID-19, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband was COVID positive on Mother's Day.
Yeah. So on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, Tiffany. Right. That was probably. So stay tuned. We're gonna take a brief break, and when we come back, we're gonna have this conversation. All right, we are back, and this is going to be some fun stuff. So I know that we had some technical difficulties, so I'm excited to see everybody jump on. Let me see here. Let me get everybody back up here. All right. So, can we see Dr. Maribel Lopez? That's my question. Now, I want to make sure that we can see Dr. Maribel Lopez. So, for those that are watching us live, let us know if if you're able to see her. So, Amell, how's it look from your end? Can we see Dr. Maribel? Can you reintroduce yourself real quick? Awesome, awesome. So I'm just waiting to make sure that everything is going good with the video and that we can see Dr. Lopez. Oh, I only see myself right now. Let me, okay, and there is no sound according to. Let me do something real quick. Be patient with us, everyone. Okay, I'm going to remove everyone. All right, Mary, let us know if you can. I'm re-putting everyone. Okay, Cab. That's special. Can you hear me now? Perfect. So everyone can see everybody and can hear everybody. Yes. Praise God. So, okay, awesome. So this is, it's one of those things that happen. It is what it is. But I want to make sure that I show this comment for those. Mary Yee, she was the one that said McCafe coffee with coconut creamer that we were talking about last time. And Tiffany said that it's Manny and Petty. So, Manny and Petty time. So this is good stuff. So for some weird reason, technology is so special. All right, everybody. Let's make sure. Amell, who do you see on right now? Okay. Okay, you guys can hear me? Well, that's great. I just want to make sure that we for everyone as well. So give me 1 second here. How about now? Can you guys see everyone, or is it still not? There could be a lag. So can okay. Let's. And the question is, can you hear everybody? I guess that's the next question. Mm. Okay. All right. Okay. So me and Tiffany are able to be seen. We're going to try to bring Maribel back on and Amell back on. So let us know if we can hear everybody. Well, let's continue with the conversation. So since Tiffany is being able to be viewed, while that's going on, I'm sure Amel and Maribel Lopez, Dr. Maribel Lopez, will try to jump on and jump off. So, um, Tiffany, let's continue the conversation. And the reason why I reached out to you, Tiffany, was because you put an article out, and you were very transparent about COVID-19. That your husband, got diagnosed with COVID-19, and it was on Mother's Day, so I'm sure it was devastating. And right now there's so much going on with COVID-19, all these events, right? They're being canceled. Tell me, what happened when you experienced that?
So when we experienced COVID in our house, my first response was fear, and I write about this in the article. And I basically went into hyper fear mode. And, when it's like banish my husband to the basement, create separation in our own home. But within 2 days, we had found a functional medicine doctor who had treated SARS in China and knew about the virus and knew how to treat viruses. And within a week, he was back to normal. So my fear, I had to face it, head on, definitely. Now I don't fear the virus. Like, my kids are back in camp. I have to drive them over here a little bit this morning. We're going back out. Yesterday, we went over and got ice for people. But what was most interesting to me, Jennifer, was that even though while he was supposed to be contagious, right, we were still sleeping together before we learned he was positive. The kids were still around him. We were sharing a kitchen, and the rest of our house didn't get the virus. And we were all tested. Me and the girls were all negative.
Yeah.
So somehow our immune systems work. And that's the most interesting thing to me when it comes to the science, is like, what can you do so that if you are afraid of catching the virus, your immune system will do what it's supposed to do, like what God made your immune system for.
Wow, that's amazing that none of you caught it. Your husband unfortunately did, but he's fine now, right?
He's fine now. Yes, he's back. He's healthy. He's like itching to get out and back into the world and wishing the world would open, just like I think most of us.
So tell me, what are your thoughts? Right, there's this rally. I know that they were going to do, and I think I might have just gotten an update that it might have been canceled, but a lot of health experts, there's going to be this big rally in Tulsa. We know one that was the location itself is not probably the best location, because there's been, if from my understanding, and people can chime in, right, there was one of the biggest locations where they had a lot of racial tension and segregation. And there was, if my understanding, it all started from, like, there was a massacre, and I believe that it's called Juneteenth, right? And it all started from, they arrested some young African-American boys, and it was just police brutality. So there was all these things in correlation with this location, Tulsa. So right there, right, racially, there was like, that place is obviously not the best place to have a rally, in my opinion, right? But then also at the same time, you're just going to bring all these people together to have this rally for the president, right? For the current president right now. So what are your thoughts as far as the COVID-19 aspect to it, right? And then we'll talk about the racial part behind it. But what are your thoughts on that?
From the COVID perspective, anytime there's a large gathering of people, the people that are more compromised, right? So they have the comorbidities, they've got the diabetes, they've got the high blood pressure, the cholesterol issues. maybe they have a weaker immune system where they're not doing things to boost or bolster their immune system, are highly more likely to catch it. Now, we also know, if you look at the science, it's like, since the numbers were skewed, right? What the real numbers are showing, it's like 0.2% of people that come in contact will catch it. But if you're 60 or older, so it depends on the age that would come to the rally, your percentage of catching the virus increases and your percentage of having complications from having the virus go up. So those are the things to keep in mind. So even here in Chicago, we've seen a lot of protests. We've seen a lot of people walking and marching and different rallies here going on. And declining. But I see some is, for instance, I have a friend who works in the hospital in the ER. She has people coming in repeatedly for new COVID tests. Mm-hmm. A lot of employers, once you've tested positive, are making you go back and get a negative test before you can return to work. Mm. But what happens is some of these people she's seen up 4 and 5 times, and they're still positive, and I'll get to why in a minute. So every time the same person is tested positive, like this person's being counted 4 times or 5 times. Mm-hmm. It's not by individual. So you have to really think about how the numbers get skewed and what are the real numbers. So if you are going to go out and you're going to be around a large group of people, you've got to look at your own safety, and you got to look at the other thing that bothered me in the beginning was fear of infecting somebody else and them having a family member die because of my own, I hate like stupidity, right? Or my ignorance. That in the beginning also bothered me. And it was like, all right, I can't go out because my husband's positive. So I could be carrying the virus on my skin, or it could be on my hands. And we quarantined our whole family for that very reason. I didn't want to spread it unintentionally.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think this is good. This is a good conversation in regards to just rallies, in regards to large groups getting together, right? And I wanted to confirm before I continue, how is it looking on the streaming side? What I am probably going to do, and see if this helps, Tiffany, I'm going to take you off and then see if Dr. Maribel Lopez, then maybe her image can show, and then I'll flip it around like that and be creative. Let's see if that works. All right. So now we have, I took Tiffany off for a second. I have Dr. Maribel Lopez. I know you heard Tiffany right now with the situation. I wanted to get your perspective and see what are your thoughts in regards to everything that's going on. And specifically, right, the COVID-19 Tulsa rally, right? It is, so just to make sure I give people a little bit of background information, this is where 300 people were massacred historically in 1921, okay? And it's on June 19th, right? So this is what the rally for the Republicans are going to be having it. So it's just all this racial tension. This is not making any efforts in solving the issues right now. And people are concerned overall about even just COVID-19 spreading. I wanted to just get your thoughts on it as a social worker, right? As an advocate, as an activist for the community, right? As a minority, what are your thoughts in regards to this? And Maribel, Dr. Mar, I don't want to interrupt you. I hate that I have to do this, but I want to make sure that you're being shown. I took off Tiffany and Amell just for this purposes. And I don't know if that is the case right now. So what we are going to do is, because this is getting a little bit annoying, is we are going to go, I'm going to actually ask that we just do this via Zoom, the conversation, so we don't go back and forth, because I don't even know if you're still shown anymore, even though it's just me and you right now. So let me, and I know people are probably even getting frustrated with that myself. So everybody, we're just going to be right back in a second. We're going to jump off and then we're going to go live via different platforms. So stay tuned.